Okay, hello everybody. Welcome, welcome. If you're here, say hello. I am Heather Powers from Humblebeads.com, and I'm a bead maker, jewelry designer, author, illustrator, and your all-around creative muse. It is my job to get the beads off of your bead table and into some jewelry. So if you're watching, say hello. I would love to hear from you guys. Hi, Anita. Sakaya, Chris, hello, Kelly, hello. Yes, say hello. Let me know how you guys doing. Are you ready for fall? It's kind of feels like fall in the mornings. We've been enjoying some cool weather, and that just makes me feel all sorts of wonderful. Okay, so today is the Meraki and Humblebeads Playdate. So last week I showed you guys what was in the Meraki box for August, and so this is the Playdate where I am putting together things that are from the box with a mix of Humblebeads. And if Jess Lincoln isn't here yet, she will be, and she's the sponsor of today's video, and that's where you can also find the subscription kits. The August one is sold out, so the next one will be the September one, and you guys will be able to play along with the September one. But I promise to give you lots of inspiring ideas, and you can substitute beads as needed. And if you guys don't know, Meraki means to do something with soul, creativity, or love, or to put something of yourself in your work. And Jess, we just love that so much. All right. Hi, Susan, Monica, Megan, Heidi, Candy. Oh, good. I'm glad you guys are here. All right. So I'm just going to be like a jewelry making maniac today, and I am just going to jump right in. Again, the link for this is jessmaylincoln.com. If you want to subscribe to the monthly subscription, it comes out every month. It's like $39.50, I think it is, for $150 worth of goodies every month. And Jess definitely brings the inspiration. And so I will tell you guys what's in the box and what I've gathered from my goodies. So not last week, but the week before, so it was 2 weeks ago, on the Meraki unboxing, I showed you guys how to make these little links, and I made a few more of them, and I'm going to start with those to make a pair of earrings. And I'm going to layer that with, oh, and these, there was one sort of like it in the box, and I copied from it. And so the little tulips were in the box, and the little check glass that I'm going to use on the top. Everything else is from my stash from the first pair of earrings. And I'm going to be using the 20 gauge art metal. And I'm also keeping an eye on your comments. So if you guys chat away, feel free to ask questions. Hi everyone, I'm so glad you guys are here. Okay, I'm going to just grab, and I'm only going to do one of each earring because you guys definitely don't need to see me do two of them. That would just be not a good use of our time here. Okay, so I'm going to start with a wrapped loop, and I'm going to make it a little bit on the larger side and break that little loop, and I'm going to open it up and slide everything on before I close it. And the little links that I made, you guys, were made from brass wire. 18 gauge brass wire is what I used for these little wire wrapped links. And you guys can watch that video from 2 weeks ago if you want to see how those are done. Okay, now we're going to close this up. I'm really hoping to get through my whole tray today. That would be exciting. I don't know if I've ever made it all the way from one end to the next on my little trays. I did do a bunch of little of the wrapped beads and things so that I wouldn't have to do that on the video. So I cheated a little bit, but you guys don't mind. Oops, sorry, I have to pull this closer to me to get that little end tucked in there. Sorry about that. I could fight with it on camera, or I could just take it off camera for a second. I am going to use my little parallel pliers. These are my secret weapon. I love these things so much, and I picked these up from beadshop.com if you need a pair too. And now we're going to throw on an O bead. Well, actually, I'm not going to throw on an O bead with just yet. Okay, I have my monarch beads from humblebeads.com and an O bead. And now we're going to throw on a bead cap, a flower bead cap, and then the little check glass bead is from the kit. And now we're going to do a wrap on the top here. So how many of you have the box from August, and have you been making jewelry from it? What was your favorite component? And feel free to share your creations in the Humblebeads VIP party group too if you want, especially if you used Humblebeads in your creation. But even if you didn't, we still like to see what you guys did. And we're all about mixing the metals over here, so lots of that going on. I did buff the little tulip too to get some of that pattern showing on it. Okay, now we're going to throw on our ear wire. I'm actually going to move that out of the way so you guys can see my piece a little better. Okay, great. So you guys just said if anyone is interested in the August collection, you can email her and she can send you an invoice. So if you're really loving the August collection, and the August collection does not include the humble beads or the things from my stash. So the August collection is this right here, and Jess can send you an invoice for those. Oh, you guys are so sweet. Zach, you're awesome. Thanks for sharing all your pep and energy with us today. All right, good. So earring number 1. Dun, dun, dun. And now I'm going to move on to earring number 2. And from the stash, we had these really cool crystals that have holes on the top and bottom. I don't know the fancy name for them. And the little art metal flowers were in the kit too. And the little birds. And of course we have our little check glass on the top. Excuse me while I hunt for something really quickly. And then I grabbed some spacers that I wanted. So, oh yes, I was hoping they were in my little stash over there. Okay, so these little guys, the little peach birds, and then the flowers are from my stash, and everything else is from, well, like I said, the bottom flowers, the crystals, and the little beads on the top were from Jess. So for the top part, I'm going to use the art metal wire again. And I'm going to do, let's see how this fits on here. Yeah, I'm going to do a large loop underneath the bird, and we're going to slip the crystal on before we close it. Oh, Sherdy, you haven't used your stash yet because you were on vacation. Well, now's the perfect time because it was such a great intro to autumn and like warm, kind of the warm um, transition of the season with oranges and yellows and amber colors. It was just a beautiful collection. I saw a really good quote the other day, and it said that September is the doorway to my favorite season. And so I really loved that. And definitely loving all things autumn right now. Okay, so here we have the crystal on the bottom. Then I'm going to throw on the bird, the little flower bead cap, and then my check glass on the top. You're already loving these earrings, Jess, before I even have them put together. It's always interesting to see how the construction ends up when I go through the process. It doesn't always work like I thought it was going to, and then sometimes it just comes together perfectly. Well, we won't use perfect. It comes together as I imagine. Because no need to try for perfection around here. That just sucks the fun out of everything, doesn't it? All right, now I'm going to use a large jump ring. Let's see how I want to do this. This is the part I was not 100% sure about. So I think I'm going to start with an 8mm jump ring on the bottom. And again, mixing those metals. No one's the boss of me. Okay, and I think I will add the little glass flower and then my metal flower. Wrong pliers. Definitely, finished is always better than perfect. Let's see if I like how that looks. Oh, it just covers everything up. So that kind of tells me I need to play with this just a tiny bit here. And I'm thinking I'm going to what I'm going to do is make a little tiny bail on the bottom that mimics what I have going on the top. Or do I have a black jump ring? Let me see if I have a smaller black jump ring. Hoping everything doesn't slide off my desk. Anyone else run into that problem? Okay, so here's my jump rings, and I have one art metal one. Let's cross our fingers for a second one. Dun, dun, dun. There we go. Okay. So I'm going to do the jump ring and a little 6x8mm or 5x8mm flower that I have here. And the flowers come from Humblebeads.com. And now I'm going to do, I think I'm going to have to do 2 little jump rings on the bottom here. Because, you know, you got to get things going one way and then the other way. Let's see, am I going to like that when it's all said and done? I'm not sure if I'm gonna like that. Let me try one more. I think I will try it with the wrapped loop on the bottom. I think that's gonna end up being the best solution. And Anita, you love the box, but I haven't used it yet too. Yeah, that's it's one of the things I love about doing the videos, guys, is that I really make myself sit down to play. I don't know about you, but it's very, very easy to not make time to create if it's not scheduled in. So, you know, always feel free to use this time to pull out the boxes, and you can half watch and half listen, or maybe all listen and half watch, and then create as you listen along. It's kind of like our little play date together too. Okay, now I'm going to do a large ring on the top. I mean loop, not a ring. And before I close this up, well, I'm going to put the crystal on, but I'm also going to throw on my little piece there. Yeah, I think that's going to work out better. Okay, now closing this up. Grabbing on. And I have to fill in that little spot that I made. And just wrapping this around so it's nice and secure and looks like I meant to do it that way. And not just a big mess. Okay. Gonna close that up. I am gonna pull out the big guns here and squeeze that in. Okay, there we go. So I got that so far, and I'm going to use some tiny little jump rings on both sides. Let's see, I think I'm going to do them up here too. Do one on each side. Just have them kind of clustered above the flower. And these are little 5mm jump rings that I have. And I'm going to do them on the back. Or do I want to do them on the front? Yeah, I guess I'll do them. Well, if I do them on the front, they're just going to stack up. So I'm going to do them on the back. And hopefully it'll work like I want it. And just try to use all the colors that were in the kit, inspired by the kit. So we have orange and cream and that sunshine yellow. And I thought the peach was a nice complement to the color, the copper accents that were in the kit. And added, you know, another level to the design. Okay, let me grab my ear wire. Hi Caroline from Florida, nice to have you here. Hi Em, glad you could join us all the way across the world. Okay. So here's earring number 2. And I may play around with the dangles a little to get them to lay a little different. We'll see. I kind of like them that way though. All right, now I'm going to put these up here. We're going to go on to earring number 3. It's an earring palooza over here. And so the kit, I mean, in the Meraki box, there was this big tassel, and I cut it in half and made 2 little tassels. So that's what's going on there. And then I had the tulips again. And I have some beads from my stash that I'm going to be using on the top here. And my ear wires. Okay, so let's throw this together. The first thing I'm going to need, though, is my 1.5 millimeter hole punch. Yeah, these little tiny guys are bellflowers, and then the ones on the other one were called bellflowers too. Gina, you just wear whatever your muse is calling for, and don't worry about the seasons. I like to dress for the seasons myself, but I'm also very inspired by the seasons. But when I lived in Texas and it was hot all the time, my wardrobe didn't change much. So I totally understand. Okay, we're going to use the 20 gauge art metal parawire again. And I'm going to grab a little 5 millimeter jump ring to attach the tassel to the bottom of my piece here, and I'm going to throw on my little flower, and then my tassel, and then the piece. Okay. Let's try to do this a little easier. There we go. Okay, grabbing onto those 2 ends and closing this up. This is one of those very quick earring projects that you guys can whip up on your way out the door and have a pair of earrings to wear for that day. I always love that. Okay, now we're going to do a loop on the top here. And before I close up my wrapped loop, I'm going to add on the tulip. And the tulips, I did buff them with the vintage buffing block to pull out some of the silvery tones. And now we're going to close this up. And I'm going to wrap this around tightly. And just getting that little end tucked in so it doesn't scratch anyone. My first picture when I thought of having your earrings scratch your side of your neck or your ears when we used to talk on the telephone with our earrings, our head stuck to the phone, but we don't really do that anymore, do we? Now you just put it on speaker and don't have to worry about it stuck to the side of your head. Okay, now I'm going to do a little loop on the top here. Oh, I am going to put an O bead on the top because I used a large hole bead, and so putting that little bead on the top will help get that closed up, and I won't have that big hole to have to wire wrap over. Ooh, my wire wraps are a little messy today. Wow, I guess they're supposed to be messy, but messier than usual. Okay, closing this up. And now I have copper ear wires. And these ones are a little bit stiffer, so I just like to open them up the tiniest little bit, just enough to get my piece on there. And close it up. Okay, and then there is our pretty tassel earring. I really love this one. Boy, these are some long earrings I'm knocking out here today. I must need some drama in the earring department. Okay, so we're going to set that one aside. And now we're ready to move on to a little necklace. And I have my house bead. I have some check glass leaves. And then from the kit we have these really fun little dumbbell crystals. What are those called, Jess? I don't know. This little unit is from the kit too. Then we have this Be Still pendant that Jess hand stamped, and then they were cast. And then I have the bee that was in the kit, but I took the vintage colorful soul paints, the stone color. Is it pebble or stone? I can never remember. Oh, and mine doesn't have a name on it because I had the first batch. So whatever that pebble or stone color was, that's what I used and painted the bee, just to knock the color back a little bit, because it was a really cute little enamel piece, but that's not really my jam, and so I wanted to put it with a little more shabby chic coloring to it, and then I put a little Renaissance wax to knock back the shininess of the, oh, what do I want to say, the just lost a train of thought, the shininess of the paint. Okay, so I'm going to start with the pendant on the top here, and the house pendant is from Humblebeads, along with the little leaves. And the leaves I took eye pins and did little links, and then did 6mm jump rings in between each one. Caroline, you get to wear shorts and sandals all year round. Nice. And Jess, you like the bird earrings. Thank you. Okay, now when we collective we, when we do the house bead, it's best to do the loop first on the top and then do the bottom, and that will help protect that top a little bit. So I always do the loop that's going to be on the top, and I'm going to do just a simple loop on the top here. Then I'm going to slip on the house. And do a loop on the bottom, and the top and the bottom loops are going front to back. So you gotta slip that over the house. Get this wrapped up, and I'm gonna do a few wraps on the bottom, so 2 tightly and then 2 loosely. Have a little more weight on the bottom there. And I love to make little pendants that are clusters of goodies like this. One of my favorite things to do, actually. Okay, I'm going to take an 8mm jump ring, and I'm going to slip it through the barbell. And these are really cool crystal barbells, which in this case happens to look like a little drop of honey, right? So I absolutely love that. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do it just with a little jump ring on there. And now I'm going to throw everything on this 15.25 millimeter jump ring. I think that's what this one is. It's a little bit of a thicker jump ring. Oh, before I do that, I have a little 5 millimeter jump ring to throw on my bee charm. And I love this whole little bee still with the little bee. I just think that's so cute and sweet. Okay. I had this little hexagon check glass bead in my stash from a bead and button show a million years ago. Then we have the bee from the kit and the bee still pendant. Love that. Then this little cluster of beads and the little drop all came from the kit. Now I'm going to close this up. Make sure that's closed up really good. There we go. And now for the top, I'm going to grab a smaller jump ring. There we go. I have a little, I think this is just a little bit smaller. And I'm going to where did my little jump rings go? Okay, searching for my 6 millimeter jump rings. Here's one, and here's another one. Is that right? So close, but not quite. There we go. And I'm going to use these in the front of my pendant. And so I have the beaded links in the front, and then I'm just going to do a chain after the video on the back of the leaves here. And I'll probably do it like 26 inches so that I can just throw this over my head and not worry about a clasp. And I also like to wear my pendants really long in the front so that I can see all the beady goodness throughout the day as I look down while I'm working. I like to be able to admire my handiwork. Okay, so slipping the 2 jump rings on here. Close that guy up, and then here is my Be Still Autumn necklace. What do you guys think? Is that so sweet? I love it so much. Oh yeah, Janet, you can totally change the look of the enamel, and you could also paint them more to match, you know, whatever other little accent beads that you have, if you have a little enamel charm that isn't quite what you were looking for. And I really love the look of putting the Renaissance wax, just a little tiny dab, and it totally mattifies the finish. So this almost looks like it's cast in wax, or not cast in wax, but looks like it has wax on top of it, just a little bit. It's a really cool effect. Okay, now let's go on to the next pair of earrings. I was big on the earrings this time. Okay, so these were bright shiny copper, and I took lapis and hematite and mixed them together. I would say like probably just a little bit over half was hematite and then the lapis. So it was just a little bit more of the hematite than the other color. Okay, I'm gonna grab things from my stash, which are the Humblebeads. And I have these dahlia beads that I just don't think I could find a better match for those two. So that worked out really well. And again, I'm going to stick with the mixing of the metals, and I'm going to use the black metal. And I have a little Humblebeads disc that we're going to put on with the dahlia bead. And these guys, they're so stunning. These are so eye-catching. I have another pair that I did in a different color combination, and I get so many compliments whenever I wear that pair of earrings out. So I know these ones will get a similar reaction. Not that I care what other people think, but it's nice when you wear something that is striking. Okay, I'm going to do 2 wraps underneath here, keeping them small. And I did the Renaissance wax on top of here too, also just to cut down some of the shininess of the paint, because I love the colorful soul paint, but I do prefer more of a matte finish for my pieces. And so adding that Renaissance wax is just what I needed. And if you're new here, I'm a bead maker. That's my day job. And so these little polymer clay disc beads are ones that I've made. And I just kind of went off script with the grayish blue color, periwinkle, and the copper. I thought that looked good together. And you gotta love a pair of earrings that whip up within a matter of minutes. Okay. Alright, I'm going to wrap this around, probably 2 times tight and then 2 times loose. Yeah, I like that. Oh, I love earrings that just take seconds to make. And here we are with our 3rd pair of earrings for the day. I'm on fire. We're only 40 minutes into the video and I've gotten so much done. I might actually make it to the end of my tray. This is exciting. Okay. And then so here we have the beautiful sun medallion type piece. I just love it. These pieces are in the box. Everything else is from my stash, Nancy. Yeah, so the big, and they come bright copper. And so Jess painted hers with the hematite to give it an antique look, and that's what they look like. And then this is how they come in the box. So yeah, again, here's a picture of everything that comes in the box. All right, last pair of earrings here. And this is another one that I'm not 100% sure what I'm doing, so I hope it turns out good. That's always the hope. Okay, let me get it a little more on camera. So in the box came these brass butterflies, and I painted them with the hematite, lapis, and the pebble color to make this kind of dusty blue. And then the little daisy flowers are charms that I made. There we go. And then the dumbbell, again, is from the kit. And I'm going to grab some brass wire for this one. Is that what I want? do I want the black? I think I'm gonna stick with the black. I don't know. There's just something that I'm digging about the black with the other piece. Okay, and the pendants have a little hole on the top. I mean the charms. I guess they could be pendant or charms. How I painted these, Anita? So these I took a dot of lapis and an equal amount of hematite, and then an equal amount of the pebble. Is that the color? Is that the name of the color, guys? Is it pebble? I think it's pebble. And I mixed them all together and then just painted them on over the whole thing, and then I did a second layer in the little wings part. And then after it was dry, I took the buffing block and just buffed off the corners, and then I patted a little Renaissance wax on top of those. Okay, now I'm going to do the wrap on the bottom. And open this up and stick on my butterfly. And I think the wraps on the bottom, I'm just going to do a simple wrapped loop with just 2 so that it will fit underneath the dumbbell. The crystal dumbbell. Kind of like that. Okay, and now I'm going to do, oh, you know what? I am just a little nervous about sticking my pliers too close to the bottom here. So I'm going to grab a little tiny copper spacer and throw it in there. And you could use a different color metal if you don't like to mix metals, but you know, it's on brand here. Okay, now I'm going to do a large loop on the top so that I can get through my charm. Okay, I'm going to open that up and slide on my little daisy charm here. Make sure it's going in the right direction. And then we're going to close this loop, and I'm going to wrap around 2 times, and I'm going to end it at that. Just going to pull that wire up. Wow. There we go. It was just headed, it was pointed down too much, so just turn that up a little. I'm gonna grab my pliers in here. Close that up. Oh, the little dumbbell almost looks like a, what do I want to say? My brain is melting. It looks like a little butterfly. Okay, so I'm going to have to do a ring on the top and then one going left to right. So let me grab a smaller jump ring to put on the top. Digging through the jump rings for the perfect one. And I think I'm going to grab a 9.25 millimeter jump ring for the top. So I'm going to open this. And I'm going to slip on my ear wire. Close that up. Now, let me see. These are almost feel too long. I might do them without the piece in the middle and do just the 2 pieces with jump rings on the top and bottom. Let's try that, because this just, it almost feels like it's going to be just a little too long. So let me simplify this. Get it a little shorter. And also the butterfly is just a little bit heavier. It's not heavy, it's just heavier than what I'm used to. And so, yeah, I might feel a little better if it's just a little shorter. Nope. Didn't make that quite open enough. And the 8mm charms, jump rings work really nicely for these charms. As far as the hole goes, yeah, I am liking that better. Ooh. Oh no, I keep finding dead jump rings. Ones that weren't quite right. This one's a little smaller, I think. Oh, I won't waste any time looking for it. I'll just grab the other one later. Yeah, I do like that better. Sometimes less is more. Yeah, these feel much more manageable. Okay. Caroline, you just gotta jump in with painting the brass components and just give it a try. The Vintage girls over at vintage.com have a lot of tutorials too. Okay, there. I'm actually in love with these. Totally smitten kitten over those ones. Yeah, and these are cool, but it's just too long for me and a little heavy because of the length. Okay, guys, I got 10 minutes and one small project left to go, and it's actually one that I've done most of the work for. So I wanted to use up all the extra little bits that were in the kit. So we had this large bronze pearl. Then we have the check glass flower. Then we had the metal flower. We had this little wood guy and a little cactus flower. In the wood guy, I painted a thin coat of white. Darn it, what's it called? Like a colorful soul paint. And then I had a few other little beads from my stash that I thought looked nice with this, and so we're just using some of the little extra pieces that were in the kit just to finish up with the last little bit of it. Okay, and now I'm going to use 18 gauge wire for the bird. And I think I'll do a little nest under that bird, so we'll get this a little extra length on the bottom. I'm going to use a little copper O bead between the top pearl and I'm going to start with the top loop. I'm just going to wrap this around. I think I'm just going to do it, let's do it 3 times. All right, here we go. Alright, now we're going to throw on the big pearl bead. It's just a beautiful bead. Then the copper O bead, just for a little touch of copper on there. And then my Queen Anne's lace willow bird. And I'm going to do a nest on the bottom here. So I'm going to do a loop on the bottom. I'm going to wrap it around 2 times nice and tightly, and then I'm going to go a little bit up over the bird, and I'm going to wrap down and around again. So you see how I've done that, where I've wrapped kind of like the messy wrapped loop, the same technique, but going a little bit bigger than I would normally. Okay, there we go. That's a nice little nest for that guy. And I'm gonna get that in there. Okay, and now we're gonna put all of these together here. So I'm gonna start with the little round bead. And that's from my stash, and then this little, ooh, that's a little too small. And then this little cluster of beads. Then we have the little metal one, and then our final little bead from the kit. And now we're going to close this up. Ooh, it's a heavy copper jump ring. Vanessa, these aren't kits. These are just parts from the justmelincoln.com Meraki kit. So here's all the little goodies that are clustered on the bottom of this guy. And here's the kit. This is the kit that we I opened 2 weeks ago and did one project, and then the rest of the beads today are Humblebeads and the leftovers from the kit that I didn't use up for the first video. Alright, let me grab a chain real quick. And Jess, if you could leave the link on the bottom for everyone so they can find you easily. I'm going to do this guy with the ball chain. I think that'll be fun. Something different that I haven't done very often, but I think the copper color looks really nice with the piece on the bottom here. So I'm going to just turn that loop going the right way. And this has a simple ball chain connector. Just pop that in. And there we go. Finished necklace. Woot woot. I may play around with the dangles a little. They're not quite laying like I would like. This one in particular. But I think we're good for now. Yeah, I think I need to do something else. I think I need to find a little charm and then put the orange one up there. I think that's what I'm going to do. But I will do that after the video because we're at the end of our time. But let me go through. We move all my tools and junk. We have the butterfly that we did with the daisy charm. Then we had the large sunbursts with the disc bead and the dahlia. And then our next earring, we had the little peach earrings with the crystals and some of the beads that were in the kit. I don't know, I call it kit, the box. And then here I used the tulip from the box, and then everything else was from my kit. And Jess has dropped the link for the subscription box. And the next box will be the next collection. So if you click on the box, on the link for the collection, it is going to be the September collection. But if you guys want the August collection and you didn't get it, you can just email Jess and you can follow up with Jess. All right, and now the last piece that we had on here was our Be Still charm necklace. And there we go. Oop. Let's get that up there. So there are our we got 2 necklaces and 4 pairs of earrings, and then I did another necklace last week, and so that is quite a bit of stuff from the box with the beads from my stash. Yep, and you guys, Jess has the link in the comments right there, and you can go right to there and get the kits. All right, so let's do our giveaway. I'm going to just fill this out real quick. One second. All right, guys, so it's going to be #autumn, all lowercase. So go ahead and enter #autumn. Oh yeah, these do look like a set, don't they? I do have these little earrings in yellow too. And that, not earrings, but the little birds in yellow too. That would be cute. Okay, so do #autumn for the drawing. We're going to do a $30 gift certificate. I see that there was a comment about an order, guys. I will go back through and take care of that for you after the video. I just didn't want you to think that Sarah, I'm gonna have to check on that because that's strange. Okay, all right, and we'll definitely take care of that after the video for you. All right, you guys, getting your hashtag autumn in there for the $30 Humblebeads gift certificate. Let's see. Next week is the second week of September. I'm not sure if the September Meraki kits will be here next week, so I have an autumn pendant necklace that we're going to do next week with some art beads from my good friend Kelly Schweda, and they're ones I picked up at the Bead Festival, and then we're going to make some humble beads with it and some check glass and make a cool autumn pendant necklace in there with owls, foxes, and I think that's it. Owls and foxes. Oh, and some keys. Yeah, so that'll be a fun project to work with you guys. And then the following week we'll do the September Meraki box. All right, I'm ready to. I think everybody's gotten their hashtag autumn in. I know, Susan, you're gonna love the little foxes. They're super cute. All right, give you one more second, guys. Hashtag autumn. Oh, no problem, Jess. The week after, guys, not next week, but the week after, we'll do the September Meraki box. That'll be super fun. Ready for autumn and all the autumn inspirations. Okay, drawing now. And the winner is Kelly! Woohoo! Kelly, I will have Jess email you, and he'll send you the gift certificate. All right, guys, that is it for today. Hopefully you enjoyed today's video. Jess, thank you for sponsoring today's video with the Meraki box. We love it. And again, the link is there, Jess Lincoln, and then you can go to products and the Meraki monthly subscription box. I think she has a link right on the top of her website too. All right, congratulations, Kelly. Woo-hoo-hoo. All right, guys, thank you so much. I will talk to you next week. Happy creating. Bye.